Hello guys, how are you today? Welcome to the trading cage. This is where we beat the goat. Um, I'm so sorry we had some technical issues this morning. Not funny ones. So I had some problems with our internet and some problems with our webcam. But here we are. Okay, I didn't let get me down because we had to get this thing done for all of you. So thank you very much for being patient with us. And this morning, President Trump started the day beating on everybody. Actually, I found it quite hilarious the way that he reacts by talking to certain people. It's kind of funny. I mean, I do prefer people that tell it to your face than people that will talk behind your back. But that's my personal opinion. Okay, I do not think that everything that he does is marvelous, but today he did beat on quite a lot of people. So, but again, let's see how the market's going to react to everything that he did say. In the end of the day, he was just talking about himself being almighty and glorious on how many wars he actually stopped and how he should get the Nobel Prize of Peace. Which Barack Obama got. He was complaining about that. He didn't get one, and he stopped about quite a lot of wars by now. But well, no Nobel Prize for Trump just yet. And let's see how it goes. Anyways, let's go back to our gold. Couple things happened last night. So since yesterday we did map here this region on the daily chart. We had this inefficiency here on the 1 hour chart. And last night we actually managed to get a very good trade aiming on the 50-50 here. And that was our target, was the end of the inefficiency. And as we can see, price got even higher than that. It went over to our trigger candle number 20. So it went around to that region before retracting at the moment just below that 50.62 that we had as a target in there. So that was a very good trade. And the market is coming down to that 50% of yesterday's region. Okay. We've got a major 50% just down below. Let's see how it's going to play out today. So we still have got resistance here on that trigger candle. That region has been felt by the price already, and we have got that last relevant stopping point here, which is candle 19. Okay, if price comes through that, we still have got all this inefficiency here for the price to get. Now, for the price to be able to reach this inefficiency, it's gonna have to go through this trigger candle here 20. All right. So that's going to be a barrier for this price at the moment. We are above 50% of that pullback, okay, of that retraction, which means that market is bullish still, okay. If it comes down from that 50%, then we'll be looking at a bear market, okay. So let's go around here to our 1 hour chart. Let me just check one thing. Make sure that we are live. We tried, I tried a couple minutes ago and we weren't live. So I had to go back and start a new live. So let's see if, okay. So that is working right there. Great. So we are here. Here on our 1 hour chart, let's see what we got. We don't have this channel here anymore, but we do have another one, which is here. Which is around here. Okay, great. That goes over, comes back. Cool. All right. So there is this channel here on the 1 hour chart. Okay, we can see where price has found support before. We have the 50%. Let me delete all of these Fibonacci's here. Oh, my channel went with it. I just delete all of these just to make the chart a little bit clearer for you guys so you can understand exactly what we're talking about. I always tell my students that's a lot better to work with a clear chart than with a very confusing one. So let's put our channel back in here. Cool. All right. Okay. So what we know so far is that we've got 50% of that macro movement right here. Okay. On the region of the 5,000. That's 5,000 right there on that 50% region. One thing here, price came around to that trigger candle and was held by actually this trigger candle here, 105, just before hitting our trigger candle 20, okay, that we had on our daily chart. So at the moment, price might be looking to get into the support, which is 50%. And then this inefficiency is gone, so we can delete that one. Let me just unmark this. I'll unselect that. This will go as well. Oh, together with it went our Fibo. We'll put our Fibo back. MetaTrader has this peculiarity where if you not unselect the things that you have mapped, it will just, every time you press delete, it deletes everything. Cool, that's done. So it gets a little bit confusing sometimes when you're trying to do something a bit quick and you forget to unselect it. All right, so here we have inefficiency here on top, which is here in that candle there. So there's that little bit of inefficiency there. And you have one just above, but then those are above that triggered candle 86, okay? So we might have a very good resistance point around here this morning. It might be easier for the price to come down and grab a little bit more liquidity than actually going up, okay? But I do believe in a bull market if it continues with that structure. So let's see how it goes. Our 50% of the day, it's exactly here, okay? It's exactly on our 50% of the macro movement, which means that's a really good support. Also, candle 59 here on the 1 hour wasn't able to break through that support. Minimum of candle 57, minimum of candle 58. Okay, price is working in that range at the moment. So we are in a bit of in a bit of a chart going sideways, which is a consolidation, as I see, possibly trying to induce sellers to put more stop, sellers to put more stop on top, and then more liquidity. Price will have to come and grab it so it can break through that trigger candle and continue on its way up. Okay. What I would be looking as far as shorting points at the moment would be if the chart came back below these trigger candles here. Okay, that would be a good shorting point, because at the moment we have support here, two very good supports. We have supports in this region here, where we have that black arrow, okay? And then we got support down here as well. So for me to be shorting this market will be a little bit harder than to be buying. So let's keep an eye out for that as well. That's pretty much on that same 50 region in there. Oh, there it goes again, MetaTrader. Okay, so we have that inefficiency there, that region there. If price comes, it will accelerate in that region. We know how that works. I'll leave it pink for today. No worries. It's on top. We know what it is. And let's go down to our 15-minute chart. So we know we are on an uptrend inside of a channel. We've got support below. We've got triggers up ahead. We've got resistance on our black line right there. Inefficiency on top. And quite a bit of inefficiency down here. So price could come down to grab that inefficiency there as well, okay? So we got inefficiency in that region. There's no more inefficiency here because candle 59 came and cleared it out in our 50% region. So this is what we have at the moment. On the 15 minutes, let's just say where is that 50% of this last movement here. So price is exactly on our 50% above our channel. We do have resistance here, which are these trigger candles to the left-hand side. It has touched that region a couple of times already. Let's see if it breaks through. If it does break through, then we could be a good long position until about this price here, okay? But we need to start seeing the 1 minute changing the structure, because at the moment it's not changing much. We're just in a consolidation zone as it is. We got to be very careful. We can't really buy below this 50% because price can just actually test in there, not break through. Next one tests up, and then we could have a 3 candle pattern going down. Okay, it can confirm pullback to the minimals, and then we would be stuck in a losing trade if we did that, and we do not want to do that. Let me just put a little bit of a zoom here on my 15 minutes because I want to track this price in here. Okay, and then I'll put my Fibo here. And then we'll go down to our 5-minute chart and see what's happening down there. Cool, so we got resistance right there on the 50%. We have support in this region, and we've got support on the 50% below. We don't have any more inefficiency. The liquidity we have is under candle 11. Okay, so if price comes back, it could grab that liquidity in there and accelerate a little bit. We had a 3 candle pattern here going long, and this was a awesome trade we did yesterday. This one here, candle 8 actually, sorry. So let's see how things will play out here. Market is a little bit low today. Okay, not a lot of volatility. I was expecting to have a little bit more volatility after Trump spoke, after the interview. But all it did was correct a little bit. But by our readings on the daily chart, while the price is above that 50%, I do believe on a bull market instead of a bear market. Okay, so I do believe that there's quite a lot happening in the world still. Um, I was reading about what happened with the gold, okay, why it retracted so much. And what I found out was that there was a lot of people who got into gold really, really heavy-handed, and people that trade and get out of their risk management, they will always lose money in the end of the day. And this is one thing that I always tell my students, and I say, look, make sure you're playing a hand that you can win. A lot of people came through with a lot of more contracts, and a lot of people lost a lot of money because they would put more contracts than what they could afford. So while they thought they made a lot of money, a lot of people lost a lot. Okay. So one thing that I always tell my students, and I'll say to you guys as well, be careful when you're getting in with a hand that you cannot afford to stop. Risk management is what's going to keep you alive in this game, okay? So being a day trader, I know some people think it's easy, it's just a couple clicks, but it's not just that. You've got to know how to survive with your risk management. Otherwise, every time you're going to get into a trade thinking that that's the trade of your life. And if it goes wrong, it is exactly that, the trade of your life. If it goes well, then you made a lot of money. If it went bad, you lost everything and you have to start from scratch. And the idea here is not that. The idea here is actually evolving every day and building capital. Okay? The idea is to build capital every single day. And what you've got to do is protect your capital every single day. So before getting to a trade, is that a really good trade? Did I check all the confluences before I got into that trade? Did I check my risk? Is my risk a lot higher than what I could afford in that trade? So these are the questions that you should ask yourself every single day. The market will give you good trades. Every day there are good trades. There are good entry points. There are bad entry points everywhere. The market will induce you to buy in certain regions where you shouldn't. But you still go there and you click on it anyways. Oh no, the market's going to go without me, so I should be getting to this trade. Maybe not. Wait a little bit. Wait for it to confirm. Is it going to keep on breaking through? Did they close above last candle's high? Is this a movement that I want to get into? Is this what the macro movement is? Or is it just a micro movement? If you get into the macro, it's a lot better than the micro, because on the macro, you could be wrong and it will still pay you. If you get wrong in the micro movement and the macro is going another way, you've got to be good twice. Okay? So even if you're getting the wrong entry point on the macro frequency, which is maybe bullish or bearish, it may still pay you. If you get in a wrong movement in the micro movement, you're done. It is going to get your stop. So to get into moves against the frequency of the market, you've got to be good twice. You've got to be good on your entry point, and you've got to be good on your exit point. You can't hold that trade forever. Okay? So for all beginners, I always tell them, just do what the frequency of the market is at the moment. If it's bullish, look for buys. Even if you get it wrong, you might be right. Okay. But after a while, after you get enough screen time and you know how the asset that you are trading actually works, you can get into other trades as well. So there we go, candle 163, just breaking through that 50% there that we were waiting on. Actually, very, very big candle there. So we're talking about 1,100 points at the moment. No, actually, 1,400 points in one candle. Mm, very good bullish movement in there. Now, we don't want to buy on that candle. Let's wait for that to close. We would need a very good test from that candle 164 now for me to get into that trade. And my stop is actually 1,400 points. Is it worth it? I guess I'll wait a little bit more. I'll wait for it to make a pullback. After a pullback, I'll get into that trade. I'm not going to get into that trade right now. The stop's too long. And I've got no point of support in there. Let's see what happens. So here on our 15 minutes, on the 5 minutes as well, you can see that we've got a bit of liquidity here to the left. That if candle 164 accelerates a little bit more, it will grab that, and that will help the price to accelerate. Okay, there's a lot of stops from the people who sold in this region, so let's see how good of a test candle 164 will do. It's got two regions of support right now to test. One is the one that it is at the moment in there, which is the high of candle, the support of candle 142. The next one down would be this trigger candle here, that there could be a support for the price as well. And then the other one is the 50% region, okay? And triggers below. So these are the supports for this price. Price may come down to grab that inefficiency that it created, it generated there on that 5-minute candle. Now, if it does a good pullback here on the 1 minute, it might give us a good entry point actually. But it would be good if it came a little bit lower, at least to the 50%. That's not the indicator I want. I want a Fibo. So if it came around here and made a pullback and confirmed that pullback for us, would be a good entry point. Because then we know that it tested that little top in there. It hasn't got close to that region yet. Simply because the stop's too long. So we gotta be careful on how we entry into trades like this. Okay, so it's doing the test in the region we wanted it to test. Let's see if price comes back and confirms that pullback to the highs. On the 15 minutes, we are above those sugar candles to the left at the moment. It's coming back to the region of that 50%. Look at that. Just cleared, at the moment, it cleared the stops from candle 157 and also cleared the stops from candle 142 in that region. It didn't get the other ones on top, but it left this very big inefficiency here, which candle 164 came back to pick up on. Okay, so it came to clear that inefficiency straight through. Osation. So this could be a clear manipulation of the price. We say manipulation is when market makers, they will push the price up and then they'll grab the liquidity and then bring the price right down again. So that's a very clear manipulation of the price that we just saw. I'm not going to sell in there and I'm not going to buy either. So there's nothing for me to do in this region of price, okay? Came back to the regional support, those trigger candles. Now on the 15 minutes, we see a rejection and price at the moment comes below that 50%. Now let's see what candle 165 will do. We do have support here on 15 minutes. Let's just map this trigger candle here because this is support for the price in case this price decides to come down. That support right there. There's a lot of trigger candles to the left on 1 minute. See the importance about the importance of not hitting buy now. If we had been emotional about this trade, like most traders are, and if we had clicked buy now, right now we would be stuck in a trade, in a losing trade, without knowing what to do. So this is the importance about waiting for the candles to test. If you don't wait for it to test, and this is the great thing about the technique, if you wait for it to test, you're going to wait for it to do what you think that the market should do. There are regions of support, there are regions of resistance, and you want to see price reacting to those regions and to those supports and to those resistance. If it doesn't react to it the way that you would like it to, then I'm not getting into that trade, and that's totally fine. I didn't lose money. I didn't risk my capital. My capital is still in there in the account. And it's awesome. And it's quite a good capital too. So why would I risk it if I survive from this capital? You know, so good trades are actually quite easy to come by, but you've got to be patient, very patient. One thing I say every day is patience pays the trader. And I say this to all my students, patience pays the trader. Be patient. It's boring. Yes, it's a boring job. But I'll be sitting here for about an hour and a half. I'll get my money and then my day could be finished if I wanted. If I wasn't a mentor and I didn't teach people how to do this and live from the market every single day, I could just do my bit. But then there's one thing that's really important to me. The more I teach people on how to become consistent, the more consistent I get, the better I get. So it's not just about, oh, Thiago's trying to help people. It's not just helping people. It's that it helps me too. See? So the more I teach, the better I get at it. And the more screen time I have. And this is the great thing about it. I'm doing good to others. because I'm teaching people how to leave their 9 to 5 job every single day and be profitable on the financial markets. And I'm also getting better on the financial markets myself. So this is pretty awesome. I really like this job that I do. This is not my only job, okay? I own many businesses. So there's quite a lot that I do on a daily basis. But financial market is one of my passions. Let me just set up my chart here. So candle 165 came back over that 50%. Candle 55 closed above that 50%. I am in a good region to buy. I just need a test from that 15-minute candle, okay? If it tests, I'm willing to go long on this trade. The stop is actually quite small, 600 points at this point, but I do need that test, especially if the 1-minute chart comes back, comes down here into the trigger candle and comes back up. That would be perfect. But I do need a test down here. I'm not getting to a trade without a test. Come on, buddy. Don't just go, just test down. What's wrong with you? Isn't it bad when price just goes without testing and then leaves you out of the trade and you know that could be a winning trade? There we go. So 1 minute's testing, that's good. So I'm gonna put my buy in there. Let's see if price will come and grab that buy. So you're talking about 800 points at this moment for my stop. Well, actually, I'm gonna get into one lot. 800 points is quite a bit. Two lots again. In there, just put one lot. Just before the opening of the American market, I don't like to trade with my hand quite heavy. I will use my usual hand will be anywhere in between 1 to 5 lots. But prior to the opening of the American market, I like to trade with a lower hand simply because I want to have a little bit of that cushion. Okay, so I'll make a cushion prior to the American market, and then when it comes to the American market, I have that money that I already made from these smaller trades for me to be able to hold the bigger trades with more volatility as well. Okay, so this is what I like to do myself, and I'm leaving that trade in there for the moment. The 15-minute candle tested really, really well. Tested the trigger candle 54. So that feels like a great buy right now. Now, just remember we have, hey, Saul, good morning, buddy. We have got a 800 points stop at this point. So I'm just going with a low hand. Oh, if it doesn't pay you, Tiago, that's totally fine. Part of the game, and I'm used to it. That's why you use lower lots, okay? Smaller lots when you get into trades like this. We have a trend line here. Okay, we can see on the 1 minute as well. there is a trend line that's going right there. So we are not against the market. Of course, it did do higher lows and higher highs. Okay, so higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher lows. So this price could as well be getting ready to come up to the last maximum, the last high, which was around the 5092, I would say. I wouldn't hold this trade until there, but it's a really good trade to hold until the trigger candles here on 15 minutes. Candle 166 closed inside of candle 165. We've got a bit of a lateralization there in the 1 minute. It did close above that 50% still. Let's see if candle 167 tests down once again. Now, if candle 167 tests down into those trigger candles below once again and comes back up, we might be able to lower that entry point of our trade. Now, on the 15 minutes, we see that candle 56 has tested candle 54, which is a trigger candle. That's a support for the price in that place. So let me just mark these up so you know exactly what I'm talking about. This region here. So candle 56 just tested this trigger candle here. See, 54. And found a bit of support. Couldn't break through it. So let's wait a little bit to see what happens. Okay, candle 167 tested down. Just testing our trend line on the 1 minute for now. Still above the 50% of this. And that, but I want to get this point here at the moment. If it breaks through that, then I'm not willing to trade anymore in that region. We still have got this inefficiency here on the 5 minutes, candle 164, so there's a little bit of inefficiency there to be grabbed. Plus, we have a bit of stops in that region too. Okay, let's see if candle 834 grab this liquidity down below here and brings this price back up, we'll continue with that order. If it doesn't, we'll take the order out. Okay. All right, let's take our buying order. We're not gonna buy in there. Candle 167 comes to our support zone again and to the trigger candles below. So now we wait for another confirmation of price before we do anything. Brazilian market, the dollar is melting at the moment. Okay, candle 167 closed above the trigger candle. Okay, hasn't broken through it. I'm not prepared to sell in that region. Okay, simply because it didn't break through that trigger candle. So I'll wait a little bit more. It's just above support. We've got that trend line there on our channel. On the 1 minute, it did break through our trend line, but I'm just not willing to sell at the moment. I'll wait for that candle, that 15-minute candle to close to see if this was just a pullback to the minimums. It may confirm that pullback if it breaks through this trigger candle 51 here. Okay, it might confirm that pullback to the minimums. On the 15 minutes, let's just say on the 15 minutes here, we could have a confirmed pullback to the minimums here, just in case it does this. I'll actually change this Fibonacci here, so we know exactly where we're mapping. We're mapping this price. So if candle 56 closes below candle 51, we could have a small sale. Okay, I wouldn't hold on to that short, to that sell for a long time. I would be quite careful in that region. Brazilian market, somebody is lying. We've got ABOV coming down, and we got also Brazilian real against dollar coming down. Somebody is lying, and I would say that ABOV's lying. Okay, it's very manipulated. The market in Brazil is very, very manipulated. It's not like the gold. Our Brazilian market, it's a lot smaller than the gold market. So with banks that've got quite a bigger hand, they can manipulate the market. Okay, so they'll buy and sell and push the price up and down without actually having any notions or anything to actually move the price that much. So it manipulates people to buy and sell, and then they stop them. So if you don't know what you're doing, you are going to lose money. And when you get that notion and you bring it here to the gold, after operating, trading on such a manipulated market, it makes it very, very easy to trade on the gold. Ooh, look at that. That's a big push. That's quite funny. A lot of volatility in there. but then market went and pushed it right back up. A lot of buyers in that region at 10 o'clock. Guys, I do have to close this live. I've got to do another live now with our students from the school that we work with. So I'll have to let you guys go. Actually, I wanted to see how price was going to react in that region, but I do have these other live with them in a closed room at 10 o'clock. Now, I just want to leave you guys with this. If this price breaks through that trigger candle 51, you could have a very good short. It didn't break through, and you could have a short movement. Okay, since it confirms the pullback. Now, as you can see here, quite a lot of volatility coming in to this lower movement, but it's finding support in this region. So price is trying to bring it down, and it's still getting a bit of push from buyers. Okay, so just be careful. If price comes back below this trigger candle here, 212, okay, below that 50%, we have really good shorts around this region here. So I would be happy to sell in this region. Pay attention that around this 50% here, price can come around to this 50% and then bounce back up, okay? So it can come here and then bounce back up. And if it does that, would be a great place to buy with targets around these maximum high of today or here at 51.36. Market a bit sideways this morning, didn't give us a lot of options. May give us a three candle pattern here on the 15 minutes soon, but I do have to go. Thank you very much for watching with us today, and I hope that you learned something from us. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us, okay? I will leave my phone number, my Brazilian number here, so you can get in touch with me. We do offer private mentorships. And don't forget, the other thing is our Instagram, Thiago's Trading Cage. That's our Instagram. And the other thing is, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends, okay? We have an aim of continuing growing so we can continue to bring you guys more materials like this so we can all learn together, all right? Thank you very much for today. This has been the Trading Cage where we beat the gold, and I will see you tomorrow. God bless.